Ever feel like there's this kind of hidden greatness button inside you, just like waiting to be pushed?
Well, we're diving deep into Wallace D. Wattles' The Science of Being Great
Yeah.
to see if, well, maybe he's got the cheat codes.
This book, from way back in 1910, claims greatness isn't just for the Einsteins and, the Oprahs of the world.
Oh,
It's within everyone's reach.
yeah.
So buckle up, because we're on a quest to unlock your inner greatness.
I like it.
Wattles, he kicks things off with this whole idea of a principle of power that resides within each of us.
Okay.
It's not about suddenly gaining superpowers, right?
Right.
But more about tapping into this ever-present source of potential.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Well, what I find so fascinating is how Wattles, he presents this principle as like a wellspring of greatness, and that anyone can tap into it. He's suggesting it's less about some inherent talent you're born with and more about, consciously choosing growth, actively shaping your destiny.
So it's less about waiting for greatness to, magically find you,
Right.
and more about actively pursuing it, going after it.
Exactly.
And Wattles uses some pretty inspiring examples. People who defied the odds.
Yeah.
Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy,
Sure.
started with basically nothing
Wow.
and revolutionized how we classify life.
Wow. I mean, if he could do it.
If he can do it, why not us?
Right.
Thanks.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm already feeling more powerful, more great.
Wattles argues, we often get so caught up focusing on our limitations instead of tapping into our inner power.
Our limitations.
Yes, and he calls this power thought forms.
Okay, thought forms.
Basically, the idea that just vividly picturing ourselves achieving a goal, it can actually influence, our reality.
Thought forms. That sounds a bit, I don't know, a little out there. Can you break that down?
Sure.
How can simply picturing something, how can that make it real?
Okay, think of it this way. A thought form. It's like a mental blueprint,
Okay.
Imagine having this idea, but it's so clear in your mind that it begins to shape your actions,
Uh-huh.
and then ultimately it shapes your reality.
So, okay, if I'm dreaming of starting a successful business,
Yeah.
Wattles would say, I need to vividly picture myself running that business.
Yeah.
Down to every last detail,
Yeah.
as if it were already real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about aligning your actions with those mental blueprints you're creating. You wouldn't expect to just become a championship athlete just by thinking about winning, would you?
Yeah.
No. You have to train, you have to practice, eat right,
Right.
All those actions, though, they're fueled by that clear vision of your goal.
Okay, so while having a positive mindset is crucial,
Yes.
it needs to be backed by actual concrete actions. Okay, what are those limitations we can't control? I can picture myself playing in the NBA all day long, but I don't think my 5'8" frame is gonna cut it.
Yeah, you've hit on a really crucial point. And Wattles, he acknowledges that,
Oh.
He acknowledges the challenges exist,
Okay.
but he would urge you to focus on what you can control.
Okay.
Your thoughts, your actions, and how you respond to those challenges.
So instead of getting hung up on the things I can't change,
Exactly.
I should focus on honing my skills and making the most of my strengths. I like that.
Right.
I like it. But Wattles doesn't stop there, does he? He goes on to say that true greatness, it isn't just about, achieving personal success. It's about something bigger, something more.
Absolutely. And this is where Wattles, he really challenges those conventional ideas about power and success.
Yeah.
He argues that true greatness, it's directly tied to a sense of service. To others, and to a higher purpose.
He even goes so far as to say, and this is a quote, "He that will be great among you, let him serve."
Right.
That's kind of a radical concept even today. It's like he's flipping the script, saying that true leadership isn't about wielding power over others,
Right.
but it's about using your abilities to make a positive impact.
It's about recognizing that we are all connected and that true fulfillment, it comes from contributing to something larger than ourselves.
So this idea of service, it isn't just about being nice.
Right.
It's tied to this deeper moral code that Wattles believes is crucial for true greatness.
Yeah.
He talks about aligning your actions with, and I quote again, the pure idea of right.
Yes.
So it's not just about what you achieve,
Right.
but how you achieve it. What did he mean by aligning your actions with the pure idea of right?
Well, Wattles, he really emphasizes the importance of, introspection,
Okay.
of really, really examining your motives, being
Yeah.
honest with yourself about, about your intentions,
Yeah.
and holding yourself accountable for your choices.
Mm.
He even suggests like this daily practice of self-reflection,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
taking time to assess our alignment with our values.
So it's like checking in with our inner compass regularly,
Exactly.
making sure we're still heading in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah.
Sounds like cultivating that sense of self-awareness is like crucial for staying true to ourselves and our vision of greatness.
Absolutely.
But Wattles, he didn't just focus on the internal stuff, did he? He also talked about the importance of our external environment.
Absolutely. He recognized that our surroundings, they play a significant role in shaping our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions.
Interesting.
He encouraged creating an environment that supports our growth, and our aspirations.
Just surround yourself with.
Surrounding ourselves with beauty, inspiration, positive influences.
So if, say, you're an aspiring artist, you should deck out your studio with art that inspires you, surround yourself with creative people.
And maybe ditch the doom scrolling before bed, huh?
Exactly. It's about consciously curating an environment that nourishes your soul,
Right.
and aligns with your vision of greatness.
It's interesting how all these ideas, from the power of thought to the importance of action, from aligning with a higher purpose to curating our environment, they all weave together to create this like holistic tapestry of self-cultivation and ultimately achieving true greatness.
It's a reminder that we're not passive bystanders in our own lives,
Right.
but we are active participants shaping our reality through our thoughts, our actions, and the environments that we create.
That's a powerful message, a call to action to step into our power and embrace the journey of unlocking our full potential. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll dive even deeper into the practical steps Wattles lays out for unlocking your inner greatness. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
And we're back, still exploring this idea that greatness, well, it isn't some elusive prize, right?
But more like a potential waiting to be unlocked, within each of us.
Yeah.
Before the break, we were talking about seeing the world as, how is it? Perfect but incomplete.
Yeah, perfect but incomplete.
Recognizing that inherent good,
Yeah.
in everyone and everything. And it's a powerful concept. But how do we actually put it into practice? I mean, where do we even begin?
Well, that's where Wattles' emphasis on action really comes in, you see.
Action.
Yeah. He reminds us that it's not enough to just, think great thoughts.
Right.
We
Yeah.
have to, translate those thoughts into, concrete actions.
Okay.
It's about aligning our everyday choices with that vision of a greater good.
Okay, so no more armchair philosophy.
Right.
Time to roll up our sleeves and get to work, right?
Exactly.
But where do we even begin? Wattles talks about starting with small things,
Okay.
but doing them in a, quote, great way. What does that even look like? I mean, how do you, for instance, do the dishes in a great way?
Well, it's not about the act itself, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's washing dishes, answering emails, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
It's the mindset you bring to it.
A mindset.
Yeah. Wattles would say, do it with care, do it with intention, with this sense of purpose, right?
Yeah.
Even the most, mundane tasks, they can become these acts of service
Okay.
when infused with this kind of, mindful awareness.
So it's about bringing our full presence to each moment.
Yes.
Finding that extraordinary, within the ordinary. Okay, I can get behind that. But let's get real here. Life isn't always, sunshine and roses.
Right.
How does Wattles suggest we deal with those inevitable challenges, The setbacks that life throws at us, we can't just wish them away, can we?
Right. You're right. Challenges, they are an inherent part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're striving for greatness. Wattles acknowledges this. He emphasizes the importance of cultivating inner resilience.
Okay, resilience.
He encourages us to, to face difficulties with this calm, this centered mind, trusting our intuition to guide us through.
So when the going gets tough, they tap into their inner peace.
Yes.
Okay. Easier said than done, though, I think.
It can be.
What about those moments, though, when fear creeps in,
Yeah.
or doubt? How do we, silence those inner critics, those voices in our head, and stay focused on our vision.
Wattles had some really insightful perspectives on fear, actually.
Okay.
He didn't advocate for, like, ignoring it or suppressing it, but rather, like, understanding its root cause. You know? He believed that fear, it often stems from this sense of separation.
Separation.
Yeah, from our true selves.
Yeah.
You know, from each other, from a higher power.
Interesting. Okay, so by tapping into that sense of like interconnectedness,
Yes.
that we're all in this together kind of feeling,
Exactly.
we can start to overcome those fears and access like a greater sense of courage, resilience.
Precisely. And this actually ties back to his idea of aligning ourselves with a higher purpose.
Oh, okay.
When we're acting in service to something bigger than ourselves,
Yeah.
something meaningful and aligned with our values, that sense of purpose, it becomes a wellspring of strength.
It's like having a North Star to guide us.
Exactly, yes.
Especially when the seas get rough, right? But let's circle back to something we touched upon earlier, this idea of a moral code being essential for true greatness. It's easy to, talk about living ethically, but how do we actually ensure our actions are, consistently aligned with our values? Especially when, nobody's watching.
Wattles believed that true morality, it isn't about, following some rigid set of rules.
Right.
It's more about cultivating this deep sense of integrity from within.
From within, okay.
He stressed the importance of, really examining our motives, right? Being honest with ourselves about our intentions, and holding ourselves accountable for our choices.
Right. So it's about being intentional with our actions and making sure that they're aligned, with our values. It sounds like this moral compass. It's like a key ingredient in Wattles' recipe for greatness.
It is.
But Wattles didn't just focus on the internal stuff, did he? He also talked about the importance of our external environment, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, he recognized that. You know, our surroundings, they play a part,
Yeah.
in a significant role in shaping our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions.
Right.
He encouraged, creating an environment, that supports our growth and our aspirations.
So if you're, say, an aspiring artist, deck out that studio, with art that inspires you. Surround yourself with creative people. And maybe ditch the doom scrolling, right?
Yeah.
Before bed.
Exactly. It's all about consciously curating an environment that nourishes your soul, right? And aligns with your vision of greatness.
It's interesting how all these ideas, they all connect. From the power of thought to the importance of, aligned action, from embracing a service-oriented mindset to cultivating that inner resilience. It's like it all works together.
It does.
To create this holistic tapestry, I guess you could say, of self-cultivation and ultimately achieving true greatness.
Yes. It's a reminder that we are not passive bystanders in our own lives,
Right.
But we are active participants.
Yeah.
We're actively shaping our reality through our thoughts, our actions and the environments that we create.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
A call to action to step into our power and embrace that journey of, unlocking our full potential. We've been on quite a journey with Wallace D. Wattles.
Exploring his unique perspective on, unlocking that inner greatness. It's not about some magical formula or anything, but about, conscious effort, a commitment to growth and aligning ourselves with, a greater purpose. It's inspiring stuff.
Yes, it is.
But it also kind of begs the question, how do we actually put all this into practice?
Yeah, right.
Where do we even begin?
Well, Wattles, he doesn't leave us hanging.
Okay. Right.
He offers some really specific mental exercise, almost like a mental training regimen.
Okay.
To cultivate that, that greatness mindset.
Okay.
It's not a passive thing like a wish and you shall receive kind of approach.
Right.
But it's a call to action. To actively shape our thoughts.
Okay.
And then, in turn our reality.
So what does this mental workout look like? Are we talking intense visualization sessions, chanting affirmations in the mirror, or is it something else entirely?
It's simpler than you might think,
okay.
But that doesn't mean it's easy.
Right.
Wattles, he recommends, dedicating some time each day, maybe
Okay.
like 15, 20 minutes or so,
Okay.
to consciously relax and focus your mind.
Okay.
He walks you through, like, mentally scanning your body, releasing tension
Right.
and affirming positive statements, about your health and well-being.
So it's like a combination of relaxation techniques.
Yes.
Like we see in, meditation and things like that.
Exactly, yeah.
And like positive self-talk.
Yes.
Sounds like a pretty powerful way to start the day.
It is.
Setting that positive, that intentional tone. But does it stop there?
No, not at all. From that place of, calm and focus.
Yeah.
Wattles introduces a series of affirmations.
Okay, affirmations.
Specifically designed to, like, reinforce the principles we've been talking about, right?
Right, yeah.
These affirmations, they touch upon embracing the right viewpoint, right?
Yeah.
Dedicating yourself to a higher purpose, connecting with what he calls the all mind, and acknowledging that, acknowledging that inherent potential, within yourself.
It sounds like he's like providing a framework
Yes.
to like rewire our thought patterns,
Yes.
consciously shifting that focus, right? From limitations to possibilities.
Exactly.
And I remember you mentioning that he also emphasizes like the importance of forming a specific thought form.
yes.
That clear mental picture
Yes.
of the person we, aspire to become.
That's right. That's right. Wattles, he stresses that importance of, clarity and consistency, with this thought form. It's not just a fleeting daydream,
Right.
It's this vivid and detailed image that we hold in our minds, with unwavering focus.
Yeah.
Like a blueprint for
Yes.
our ideal selves.
Like a blueprint.
He suggests that this mental picture, when it's held with that,
Yeah.
that conviction, it can act as this powerful magnet.
Okay.
And it draws us closer to its realization in our physical world.
So if I want to be like a compassionate leader,
Right.
I shouldn't just like say, I want to be a good leader.
That's right.
I need to like create this detailed mental picture of myself, right?
Yes.
Embodying those qualities,
Yeah.
compassion, empathy, decisiveness,
Yes, exactly.
in my interactions with
And
others.
and it goes beyond just the mental image too.
Okay.
Wattles, he believed in aligning your actions and your environment,
Okay.
with this vision. He'd say, surround yourself with people who embody those qualities,
Okay.
seek out those experiences that nurture those aspects within you.
Right.
And make choices that reflect that desired future self.
It's like a holistic approach.
Yes, it is.
They're aligning our thoughts and our actions and our environment with our highest aspirations.
That's right.
But what about when things get tough? Because let's face it, life it rarely goes, exactly according to plan.
Right, exactly.
How does Wattles suggest we,
Yeah.
how do we deal with the inevitable setbacks, the challenges that come with, pursuing any worthy goal?
Right. He reminds us that setbacks, they're not failures.
Okay.
They're opportunities, opportunities for learning and for growth.
Okay.
Chances to refine our approach,
Yeah.
and strengthen our resolve.
So it's not about like if you fall down, you stay down. It's about getting back up, right?
Exactly. He encourages us to view these challenges as stepping stones on the path to greatness,
Yeah.
not roadblocks.
Not roadblocks. Okay.
Yeah, not roadblocks.
So it's
Yeah.
about reframing that perspective,
Yes.
right? Seeing challenges as opportunities for growth
Yes,
rather than reasons to just give up.
exactly.
This kind of takes us back to that idea of, cultivating inner resilience, right?
Absolutely. Wattles, he believed that true strength, it doesn't come from avoiding those challenges.
Okay.
It comes from facing them,
Yeah.
facing them head on with that courage and that determination. He reminds us that we possess that inner power,
hmm
that's capable of overcoming any obstacle.
Right.
And each challenge that we overcome, it strengthens that inner resolve,
This has been such an insightful exploration of Wattles' work. I mean, we covered a lot of ground here.
We did.
From the power of thought to the importance of aligned action, from embracing that service-oriented mindset to cultivating that inner resilience. It seems that achieving greatness, according to Wattles at least, it's not about like reaching some distant finish line,
Right.
It's about like embarking on this lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth and contribution.
That's beautifully put. It is this continuous process of becoming,
Yeah.
becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Not for the sake of ego, or accolades or anything, but to make a meaningful impact on the world around us.
And that, I think, is the most empowering message of all,
It is.
Greatness, it's not like reserved for this, this select few.
Right.
It's a potential that resides within each and every one of us. It's a choice.
It is.
A commitment, a journey we can all choose to embark on.
Exactly. And as we've explored today, Wattles, he provides that roadmap, right?
Yeah.
That set of principles and practices to guide us on that journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's a call to action.
It is.
For anyone who's ready to step into their power, right?
Yeah.
To embrace their potential and to contribute to creating a brighter future.
And to our listeners out there, what will you choose?
What kind of greatness will you cultivate in your own life?
What impact do you want to make on the world?
The journey starts, it starts with a single step, right? A single thought.
Right.
A single act of courage.
Yes.
Take that step today and let's see what wonders we can create together. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It would be a great source of help to maintain and develop this channel and the correlated website. This book overview was presented to you by olbooksummary.com. Are you interested in more insights into personal development books or motivational and inspirational books? Please visit olbooksummary.com and you will find a library of the most helpful self-development and human character development books overviews. See you soon with the next books overview video.